friendly difference of opinion.
Shocker.
Here's how I'm going to start the show. Great trip for the Warriors. A great road trip for the Warriors. They go 3-1.
Stop!
They lose to Boston yesterday. They're 3-1. They have momentum. They got beat yesterday, obviously. Worst thing about yesterday, it's just a loss. That's it. They lost. They lost. It's a loss in the on the right side of the standings. And they go 3-1, and now they get a couple days off, and Milwaukee comes in here, and there's no reason they can't continue this stretch of good basketball. What is it now, Ev? I'm like a pro athlete myself. I don't. It's 12 of 16, or it's 11 of 14.
13 and 4 in their last 17.
13 and 4. 13 and 4.
14 and 6 in their last 20.
Terrific.
Can I give you the 6 losses?
Terrific.
I've been in the lab.
Yeah.
Sacramento.
Oh, I'm going to do you one
Clippers,
better, but go ahead. Yeah.
Denver, Lakers, Boston, and Atlanta.
Right.
And I will not, my friend, I missed you. I will not argue the 3-1. But I'll tell you, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you what's scaring the hell out of me. It's not where's Wiggins. Okay. I'm dealing with that. This knee, bursitis with the step.
Bursitis. Come on.
Dude,
my grandmother got over bursitis in 6 days.
Oh, my grand.
And she was 87.
Dude, he was. I didn't like how he was moving yesterday. He should have sat out. And we've been saying this since I have. New York, Toronto, maybe even D.C. But Steiny, I have not watched the Warriors under Steve Kerr. You met Lawler last week. Irish Pat Lawler and Roberto Duran, no Moss, is what the Warriors did at half on national TV. I'm not cool with it.
What do you
lost to Denver last Sunday on national TV. So you, Evan, and I, and Spadoni and the Hegan can beat Washington. We can beat what's left of the Knicks, and we can beat Toronto. So if you want to do the 3-1, that was prime time yesterday to let everybody know, and we couldn't even make it to halftime. But I'm not upset. No, I'm this knee with
I've said it before,
this scaring me, man.
Say it again.
Give it to me.
Sometimes quitting gets a bad name.
I heard that.
What in the hell? So come out and start that second half with Curry, and let's try to make a run?
No, don't get down and guard Jaylen Brown. What the hell is that? What, 15, not 10, not 12, but 15 minutes before. But, Steiny, that was just a beat down. And like you said, Rome wasn't built, I'm saying, Rome wasn't built in one day, but damn, that was pathetic. They have never, ever 140 to 88.
Who cares if you lose by 30, 40, or 92?
I'm going, who was that Lakers-Celtics Memorial Day?
Yeah, and you know who won that series? The Lakers.
But who was on the losing end of that?
The Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1, 85. Yeah. Celtics 148. Lakers 114. It was called the Mother's Day Massacre, the Memorial Day Massacre.
It was
one of those two.
Yeah.
And the Lakers won the series. Then the Lakers won the series.
Curry's knee concerns me, pal. That's all.
It's got to be something.
This team can't win without him, especially now. That's just it. Curry is so great. He has to be great if this team's going to make noise.
Well, and
just it.
As long as you brought that up, I mean, as great as Curry is, I did some numbers crunching of my own.
Oh, no. What you got?
Well, we can talk about Steph and his greatness and Clay, and if the season were to end today, it would be by far combined their worst shooting year ever in their careers.
That I did not know.
Yeah, I mean, if right now, Clay's at 37.8 and Curry's at 40.7. If the season ended today, that would be Klay Thompson's worst shooting season of his career, both 2s and 3s.
Wow.
And Curry right now is having the second worst shooting season of his career. Remember, a couple years ago, he shot only 38% from 3.
It doesn't feel like it, but here lately, Steiny, we know he's been kind of, if you want to call it a slump, off. But, dude, I was watching him run yesterday, man, and I'm just saying, he is everything to this team. I just can't believe this 4-game trip, they couldn't find one game to rest him. And I was telling Kenny Wardell, our sales guy out there, Steiny, had Curry not been in that game, I'd feel a whole lot better about the 3-1 trip. Now you got Giannis coming.
He played 15 minutes. You ran him out there, you say, I get it. It's a national television game against the Celtics.
I lost.
You didn't want to rest him because you know how the NBA's feeling about all that right now, and they're discouraging it. And if Curry sits, then they're really going to look. He plays 15 minutes. We got no shot. Get him out.
But I guess what I don't like, real quick, partner,
to me,
what I don't like is Curry's not acknowledging he's hurt.
Okay, and that's because he's a pro.
Yeah, and then he said he wasn't tired, but bursitis is real. Yeah. He shot 2 air balls, and this wasn't the first game we saw some air balls by the chef. I'm just concerned about Curry. I'll leave it there. Wiggins, come back. We need you, but man.
The big issue, the one thing that I do take out of that game yesterday is, look, we know who this team is. We know exactly who this team is. I was watching the game yesterday, and then I watched ATG with Larry Beal, Donald Foyle, and Kerry Keating.
Oh, I missed
after the game.
Did you? I missed
Kerry Keating was wearing a wonderful tie, and I texted him. I said, "Great tie, Kerry," and he goes, "Well, I had to get some Celtic green in there. They deserved it today." And then I said, look,
Coach.
The Warriors are what? 10th, 12th best team in the league. Like, that's who they are. Not the 10th, 12th best team in the league. Here's their record against every team. These are the 8 teams ahead of them in the West, and then the best 3 teams in the East. Denver, 0-4. Oklahoma City, 1-3. Phoenix, 1-3. Clippers, 1-3. They're 0-1 against Dallas. They're 0-2 against Minnesota. They're 1-1 against the Pelicans. They're 1-1 against the Celtics. They're 0-1 against Milwaukee. They're 0-2 against Cleveland. And thank goodness for the Sacramento Kings, they're 2-2 against the Kings. So against every team above them in the Western Conference standings and the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference, they have either a 500 or a losing record against all those teams for a combined 7. They're 7-23 against those teams.
That's wow.
I mean,
that's staggering. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean,
but they got some momentum.
Right, not against good teams.
And you know what?
That's the point. They have not
come hug you right now, and I guess that's what I'm having a problem dealing with.
Okay, well.
But I know you're not a doctor, Steiny. You're all black today, dressed in all black, Johnny Cash. Can you talk to me? Maybe Evan knows he was a college athlete. What is bursitis?
We had Dr. I saw Ponja drop something on Twitter.
I'm really nervous for Curry.
Yeah, don't be.
What if I told you I don't think he plays Wednesday?
Okay. That's Milwaukee. They're not going to win anyway.
Yeah. Wiggins be back?
7. I don't know.
I love you.
We'll see. They went 3-1. 888-957-9570 is the number. Steiny Guru with you. You want to jump into the conversation, we'd love to have you. Listen.
Talk to me, man.
They went on a 4-game road trip with momentum, and as far as I'm concerned, they still have a chance to maintain that momentum if you can go beat Milwaukee and keep this bigger stretch alive. Look, I mean, there are games you will not win. I went to a game on Saturday with my guy Evan.
Yeah, tell us where and who.
St. Mary's. We went to see St. Mary's Gonzaga.
Had I known you were there in real time, I would have been looking for you guys. But go ahead on the TV because I watched all
I lay low with those kind of games.
Well, you wore a yellow bright sun shirt to front row of the Warriors.
Well,
we
that's
all saw
because that was a surprise, and I didn't know I was going to the game.
Yeah.
But the reality of the situation is to just listen. So we go to this game, and it's senior night, first of all. That's an intangible.
Emotional.
Secondly, St. Mary's is 15-0 in the conference. They've clinched it. They've won the conference. They've won the WCC. Gonzaga has had a quote-unquote down year. Not having a great year. They still got a shot at the tourney, though. That game on Saturday meant so much more to Gonzaga than St. Mary's. What happened? Gonzaga 70, St. Mary's 57. You can't create urgency if it's not there. It's really hard.
But when you're the 9th, 10th seed, Steiny, you don't get that pass.
They went. So what are they supposed to?
Scrubs.
They're playing the best team in basketball.
Right.
That was a scheduled loss in any league.
All right.
I mean, come on, Goo.
No, you just backed me up when you said their record against good teams.
Right.
Every team you just mentioned is not Celtics.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Warriors won their first 3 road games. Then they play the Celtics, and it's like they're probably not going to win that game. The other then you face a Celtics team that is hot. You face a Celtics team that is motivated because it is a national championship, a national televised game. And then you get the Warriors who are already 3-0 on a road trip. They played Friday. Like, they knew. They played Friday.
Why not rest Steph then?
I mean, they did. I said they did rest him.
Yeah,
he just got to. You know what?
But there was an element of humiliation that they got. That came at a cost.
That's all right.
82-38.
Maybe humiliation can work to motivate him.
Yeah.
I mean, I give that trip an A. Believe it or not, A-. I guess I got to give it because you can't give an A if they don't go undefeated. But 888-957-9570. I mean, I feel better about the Warriors today than I felt about the Warriors when they left for the trip. It sounds like because of Curry and Wiggins, you don't feel as good about the Warriors after that trip as I do. Like, to me, I get it. They got beat by 50. Who cares? They lost 140-110, 140-120, 140-40. Who cares? They lost.
140-88.
Who cares?
Yeah.
The score doesn't matter.
Shout
I
out
don't think
Delta.
these guys really care about the score. So anyway, I'm just saying, I see no reason. Now, Milwaukee's going to be a tough game, but I see no reason. The Warriors right now have momentum. They're 13-4. Is that what you said? Over the last 17?
I don't understand how momentum against scrub teams, they got momentum.
Well, I mean, in fairness,
you helped me out when you were.
The Knicks were hurt, but they beat the Knicks.
Yeah, Toronto is Toronto.
Okay.
And Washington, me, Bonte, and Evan could take them. So I get it. The margin of error and nitpicking, Steiny, they lost that when Draymond got suspended. I tuned in yesterday for them. I don't care about Boston. They won 11 in a row. They were number 1 seed. Nobody thought they were going to be down 56 points, and your starters sit at halftime on national TV. That ain't cool. Don't miss me with momentum. I'm talking to everybody. That was embarrassing. And then Curry says, we used to do that to people, so don't say he's okay with losing like that. That was embarrassing. I want them to send a message, and you go get beat down 56. Oh, they were 3-1 when the Knicks are nobody. They had nobody. Toronto's nothing. Washington, stop. And you go get down 56. We don't know where Wiggins is, and Curry's knee is hurt. But everybody's happy. I'm not.
They'd won 8 in a row on the road.
I'm good now.
They'd come into that game having won 8 in a row on the road, one of the longest streaks in the NBA this year. They got beat. They were tired at the end of a road trip. They got like why won't you give them the benefit of the doubt that a lot of people are giving them, which is they won the first 3 games. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I get they beat Toronto. I don't think a lot of teams would have beaten Toronto that night after what they'd gone through.
Well, they were down at half.
Right, but and they got into Toronto at 7 a.m. They had plane issues. They got the Toronto game. I mean, seriously, would you have felt better if Curry would have played 35 minutes and gone 7 for 23 from the floor and they lost 120-104?
I would have felt better, and I've been asking, so you're my partner, if Curry would have sat one of these games.
Well, let's say, so if he would have sat yesterday.
Then I have nothing, no doubt about it. I'm very concerned about this bursitis and whatever. He
played 15 minutes and then they got him out of there.
But it was a bad 15 minutes, Steiny. He didn't look like himself.
So, well, he didn't look good. They got him out of there.
I've been screaming for him to sit down. We didn't know if it was fatigue. Now it's knee bursitis.
Here's what I'd like to do. Can you do this? Can you? Theater of the mind. You ready?
Yep.
Just pretend he sat out yesterday. He basically did.
I watched it again.
He just basically did. He basically, you know what? Steph sat yesterday. Essentially.
All right.
Essentially.
All right, I'm good.
Essentially. But, like, this is the thing. I mean, the only way you can get this upset with this team is if you think they can make a serious run.
I thought and I'm not saying that's not off the table, but
you got to beat somebody good at some point.
And there it is.
Well, I've been saying that, but I don't know. It's falling on deaf ears. I'm looking at the big picture. They're up to 9. You know what? Again, I didn't think they could get up to 7 or 6, but Dallas with a loss.
Now you play Dallas. You got Dallas. You got the Lakers.
Who else lost? Phoenix got beat.
Yeah.
888-957-9570. Where are you at with the Warriors? You more like me? and saying, you know what, all things like that, the way I look at yesterday's game is nothing, I swear to God, nothing more than that's just a loss. That's all it is. There's nothing to me, you can disagree with me. There's nothing to read into it other than, they haven't beaten good teams all year. Okay, for the most part.
And that's what I was really like, just be competitive, Steiny. But, to run Curry out there, and I know you say Goo was only a couple minutes, man, if you would have just sat him, and again, he might be dealing with this the rest of the year, but what came into the clarity I got from yesterday is, shocker, as Steph Curry goes, especially without Wiggins, this team goes, Steiny. And if somehow physically before the ball is tipped, something's going on, then this is not what I envision.
How many games has Curry played this year? He's been healthy for the most part of the season at 36.
Yeah, and you kept saying, Goo, the only thing that could throw this thing really off if he got, if something was going on with him.